In this video today, I'm going to be sharing many reasons why you're actually not lonely. I know you think you're lonely, but you're really not lonely. There can be many benefits when it comes to being alone. Hello everyone, I'm Brenda Myrtle, and here on this channel I drop videos every week helping you pursue entrepreneurship and self-development, growth and personal growth to maximize and diversify your income earning potential for a self-sustaining and a more fulfilling balanced life. Timestamps will be in the description below because I know how valuable your time is and I know why you're here, so let's get into it. Today I want to talk about loneliness. I spend a whole lot of time alone and it's just part of my life. Question for you, when is the last time you spent alone with nobody? Not your significant other, not your kids, and actually enjoyed it without itching for what am I gonna do next? What's the next thing on my agenda? Learning how to spend time alone is essential for personal growth, mental well being, and your overall happiness. If you've been feeling the urge to do that lately, or you're needing a little reset in your life, I think you should decide, like, be intentional about spending time alone. And today I'm just going to share a few key reasons why it's so important. The first part is just cultivating self reliance. When you learn to enjoy your own company, what ends up happening is you develop a sense of independence, a sense of figuring things out on your own, and you realize you don't need external sources like people or distractions to fulfill your happiness. So, what this ends up doing is it fosters self reliance and emotional strength within you because when you're alone, you're able to problem solve on your own without everybody else chiming in. It helps you then navigate life's challenges with confidence, knowing that you can handle it on your own. And how do we, if you think about it, how do we ever learn to rely on ourselves if we're always dependent or reliant on other people, always around other people? The second part is you're always more likely to discover your real self if you spend time by yourself. So, time alone allows you to explore your true interests, your true desires, and your true values without external influence. It's like if you realize it, whenever you're always around people, what you end up doing is sponging on their ideas. You sponge on the things that they like to do and their own opinions. And it's very hard to cultivate your own internal interest when you're always around people, finding out what makes you happy, what direction you want to take in life. And I just think time alone is that starting point, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all a combination of choices we did not make for ourselves on this earth. Our upbringing, where we chose to go to school as a kid, where we went to church, and who we cultivated relationships with. Taking that time to be alone with your true self as an adult is when you show up, right? So, the third reason why I think it's so important to spend time alone and change the word you always say when you're lonely. I'm lonely, I want to hang out, what's going on, what's happening over this weekend. Taking away that and replacing it with alone time can build emotional resilience. I know I talked about self-reliance in the beginning, but now what I'm talking about is emotional resilience. Life can be so unpredictable, and just think about like the pandemic, and there were times when you may have had to rely on yourself. And if you're somebody who had never spent time alone, you wouldn't even know where to start, right? Yes, we have family, we have friends and people who can motivate us and get us out of the funks when we find ourselves in there. But spending time alone allows you to know how to emotionally bring yourself back up from the pit, right? And this is outside of your relationship with your faith or whatever it is that's important and where you ground yourself. Knowing how to be alone teaches you how to deal with solitude and to listen to your emotions and to listen to what you really want. How do certain things make you feel? Are you really triggered by that situation, or do you just think you are because your friend thinks you should be? So it's hard to hear yourself if you're not alone. Your emotions need quiet time time to tease out of you and show up in authenticity. And so spending time alone is so important. The next one is enhancing like your creativity and your problem solving. You know, everything that I know and everything that has gotten me here to this YouTube channel, it came out of me spending time alone. I think being a loner has its disadvantages because as an introvert, sometimes you're always by yourself, and the disadvantages is that you sometimes lack community, but the benefit is you learn a lot. And I think solitude provides the mental space for creativity, for innovative thinking. So without those external distractions, your mind can wander freely. I don't know if you remember how it felt when you were younger. If you read books, if you when you read a novel like Harry Potter, or when you read a series, you were teleported into that world because your mind had time to be alone in reflection with the book you were reading. And yeah, the next one is promoting your personal self growth. Like I said, alone time creates time for self reflection, for self development. And what that leads to is you have time to reflect on your goals, determine if you need to improve your life. And this introspection helps you to evolve into a better version of yourself, okay? And if you're really enjoying this right now and you're like, okay, Brenda, like I hear you, I need to spend more time by myself, but really and truly, I don't know where to start. I have a freebie course that you can download. It should be linked in my bio. It's just called Finding Your Purpose and Your Passion. The goal for that course is really for people who are like at a stage in life where you just want more, but you don't know what you want, and everything that you need is within you. So I created the course as a workbook or an assessment. It's free, 100% free. All you have to do is put in your email and download it. And what it'll do, it'll get your mental juices spinning about what you want to do. It'll ask you questions that are very intimate to you, and it's only for you, so it's private. So feel free to download the course. The last one is reducing stress and overstimulation. The world is full of so much noise, social media, work demands, relationships. Constant interaction leads to burnout, and I experience it all the time. So spending time alone gives your mind and your body a break, allowing you to reset and recharge and reduce stress. And it's essential for maintaining balance in such a fast paced world. So we have to learn to appreciate relationships more. And if you don't spend time alone, how do you value the relationships in your life? So spending time alone also allows you to value those relationships, to develop healthier relationships, to know how to take a step back, set healthy boundaries, and then dive into the relationship again. And what that does is your body learns to fill your emotional gaps, and the validation that you always desire from the world and from other people, you learn to self-validate when you spend time alone. And again, this leads to more fulfilling, balanced relationships, and of course a balanced life, because people in your life want to support you in your growth, and they want to support you in the moments when they see you, they appreciate you more. And yeah, it helps you set boundaries, it helps you prioritize yourself, and it helps you also navigate solitude. For us women, spending time alone is very difficult. We have kids, we have homes, we have a lot of people that count on us. But my message to women today is like a lot of times, all those things just take away from you, right? They take away from your time, your energy, the source of which you pour. So, spending time alone can actually help you boost your confidence and your self esteem. When you learn to enjoy your own company, when you learn to steal those little moments. I had a friend, or I think one of my sisters, told me that she spends time in the parking lot in her car sometimes just to have a little bit of quiet time. And then I think I heard Priscilla Shire say that she spends time in her bathroom and that helps her recharge. So I'm saying, like, steal the time today, right? The more you pour into yourself, the more you can pour out into others. And finally, spending time alone helps you in strengthening spiritual connection. So everybody has their own thing that they call their compass, their spiritual grounding. For me, it's my relationship with Christ. So time alone can also be like deeply spiritual, giving you space to connect with your faith, connect with God, and own your grounding center. Quiet moments of solitude provide time for prayer, for meditation, for spiritual reflection, which can help you find inner peace and a sense of purpose. Ultimately, learning to spend time alone empowers you to live a more fulfilling, a more self aware life where you depend on yourself and you also know how to determine when you should depend on other people. This self sufficiency becomes a foundation for greater happiness, resilience, and success. So, if you're out there and you're somebody who has been complaining about being lonely, thinking about like why you're lonely and why this season in your life feels so empty. The emptiness you feel is because you're not enjoying and maximizing that alone time. The emptiness you feel is because you've gotten used to filling your cup with other people's presence, their opinions, their validations. But if you're able to fulfill your cup and fill that cup alone, you're going to feel less lonely during this time of solitude. And something that I learned in my life is like every time I was lonely, that loneliness was there to teach me something. It could be something physical, it could be something about yourself, it could be something about your environment, it could be just life telling you to take a step back and assess the things that are actually in your life. Alone time doesn't always have to be a bad thing, and being lonely doesn't always have to be something to cringe about. We can turn it into something positive. Okay? Now that you know all the reasons why you shouldn't feel like being alone means you're actually lonely, what are you going to start to do today? What are you going to use your spare time to do? And as a mom or as somebody whose life is really full with people in it, what are you going to do differently to make time, make some alone time for yourself?